Good day to you. It's nice being in class with you again once more. I hope you're fine. I hope you're doing good. This is another module that we are taking again, a new module that we are taking after the last module we took. This was the last module we took. We talked about anonymity for like in two parts, and outside that we are entering into a new module titled Sniffing, Network Packet Analysis. So this is a full-blown cybersecurity blue team and also the red team ethical hacking activity. This is a tool like a gun made for defense and also made for offense. So this tool needs to be used in the appropriate way for detection, for sniffing, and the ability to be able to know what is coming in and what is going out of your network. So depending on whose hand it is, determines the kind of work they need to use it to do. And in this class, I'm going to be showcasing how both teams, that is the offensive team, the bad hat hackers, and also the white hat hackers, how they use this tool together to be able to achieve their goals, maybe in the wrong way or in the right way. So if I talk about the black hat hacker, I might also be referring to the penetration testers, how penetration testers could find vulnerabilities in a particular organization they are being called to work. But basically, I would emphasize more on the cybersecurity experts more than the penetration side of it. So we'll be able to know how to use this tool and use it best for the main goal of the company, or to secure the network that we are being called to secure. One way or the other, this particular tool, which is the tool we'll be making use of today, is a very wonderful tool, and it's an open source tool that anybody can make use of to do whatever thing they want to do. And like I said, it depends on your intention that determines the kind of output you are going to be getting on this. So sniffing in this module will be diving into the network traffic analysis. This is a stage where you are going to be analyzing network traffic, understand what is actually going on behind the scene. Like many of us would go into sites such as duckduckgo.com. We'll go to sites such as duckduckgo.com and we'll just look at DuckDuckGo, and we are happy that we can see our site. But meanwhile, while this site is loading at the background, a lot of things is going on. You can see that looking at this place, it was not immediately I typed in this address that the site came on. Something has actually happened behind the scene, and it is that behind the scene that ethical hackers sit to analyze traffic, analyze movement, analyze what is actually going on, to be able to understand how sites, internet, clients, browsers behave the way they behave. You'll be able to analyze and say, oh, this is actually what actually happened. This is actually what transpired. This person actually tried to visit this site, but the site was not available, and all these kind of things. And why it was not available, you'll be able to understand because you can analyze the data, the packets that moves beyond the scene. Okay, sniffing is the act of capturing and analyzing data packets that travels across a network or from a source to a destination. Like in the word implies in English language, when you look at the meaning of sniffing, sniffing simply means to smell, to monitor. Like when a dog, this canine, the trained canines are looking for evidences of an incident that happened. Maybe someone died, maybe a murder case, or they're looking for a particular object. Maybe it's like a drug or one thing or the other. These dogs has been trained to fish out all these evidences through the process of sniffing. That is to smell out. So for we in when I say to smell out, it's also to observe, to monitor, to look in details what is actually happening, like an odor in a particular place, or a kind of a leg path, a footprint in a particular place. These dogs sniff the wall, sniff the ground, the floor, sniffs all these paths that they are taking them across the incident path, and they are able to analyze and say this is where the suspicious exhibit lies. So when we talk about sniffing, it is basically very fundamental to all ethical hackers, allowing them to see what actually is moving through the channels, the wires, and whatever mode that data is passing through in form of packets. So these skills must be used ethically with proper authorization. It is not the kind of skill, like I told you, that you use in an unguarded place, because the same way there might be a vulnerability in a particular kind of thing, in such a way you can use this same tool that is meant for protection to observe, to monitor, to analyze. You can also use that same tool to perpetrate a particular kind of evil, to get people's credentials in plain text, and it captures it in plain text, and that is it. You are able to use it to do whatever you want to do. So let's move on. As the introduction is not necessary, we already know who's taking this course. So what are we going to learn in this topic? So by the end of this module, you'll be able to understand all the TCP flags that we have. You're going to understand the three-way handshake. You're going to understand the three-way handshake and what is sniffing and the types of sniffing that we have, and how to capture, monitor, and analyze packets using a tool called Wireshark. So the three-way handshake. After understanding the three-way handshake, we're going to talk about the introduction to sniffing and the introduction to Wireshark, packet analysis with Wireshark and important Wireshark filters, and also how ethical hackers actually penetrate a network or a particular packet, captures packets with Wireshark, and be able to detect some deep analysis of things. Okay, let's start. So looking at the TCP flags, talking about the SYN, ACK, and FIN, what does it mean? So the TCP flags are controlled bits. These are controlled bits that manage data transmission. Think of them like a signal in conversation. Let's explore the first three TCP flags. That is the SYN, the ACK, and the FIN. Now, when I talk about flags, I'm talking about data in transmission. I'm talking about what is the trigger. That is the best way I can explain it. What is the trigger that a particular action of communication is taking? I would like to give an analysis of this. I would like to draw something in this. So when we look at this, at a particular time, we're looking at sync mix synchronization. And synchronization simply means to start a connection and synchronize a sequence of numbers. So one way or the other, whenever we try to make contact to any particular place we are making contact to, trust me, you are the source. And what you're trying to do, you are trying to request for synchronization. So at this stage, this is the source. This is the source trying to request for a particular kind of information. Trying to request for a particular kind of information. Once you request, your request is carrying a particular flag known as the sync. Sync. That is what it means. Now, a communication cannot be complete without the sync arc and sync arc flag. You understand it better now. So it's just like when you say hello, can we talk? If I say hello, are you there? I'm making requests. I'm trying to sync to you to be able to, like, I will use the word a chat bot or a chat room would use. They will say poke. So when you try to poke somebody who is at rest or somebody who is sleeping, that means your message is carrying a request. You are trying to sync. So when you say hello, are you there? You are requesting for a response. Now, if the person confirmed that I heard what you said, I heard what you are telling me, it means the person will say, I acknowledge your request. It means hack. That is, if eventually the destination acknowledges your request, it means, okay, if the person acknowledges your request, let me stop here. Yes, it means the person heard you and the person said, hi, what do you want? And immediately the person tells you, hi, what do you want? At this particular junction that you heard the communication this person says, it means a sync hack has happened. It means a sync hack has happened. So what does it mean? This is what it means. This is what it means. When you request by saying, hello, can we start communication? The destination will acknowledge your request and say, I confirm that the data you sent has been received. I got your message. Then when the person said, okay, you asked me, how am I? And the person said, I'm fine, thank you. I'm okay. Have a good day. Then you will now finish the connection and say, successfully, I have been able to get what I want to get, to know how your day was. I'm just checking up on you, which simply means I'm done. Let's end this conversation. That is the fin flag. Moving forward, the RST flag, that is the reset flag. In a communication, there could be a kind of a reset that this flag does that in the essence, in the ability to stop a particular communication that is ongoing. Most of us know how to use ChatGPT, and most of us knows how to use search engines such as this. Like if I search for what is ethical hacking here, what is ethical hacking? It's possible I can sync by search. When it's trying to acknowledge, I can reset it by stopping it here. I say, oh, sorry, I'm not searching for ethical hacking. Watch this. I'm syncing, it's going, I can stop. That means, can you see? It's trying to show there is something here that shows that the destination has actually gotten my message. But I have stopped it. I could take it back and change my search and say, what is deep web? you will notice that at that particular time, the server replies you with deep web and no longer with what is ethical hacking, because the first thing you do was to sync. The server acknowledged, but at the particular time you reset the connection, you terminated it, you didn't get the response, then you sent something. So that simply means, in real life, it means, hey, stop, something went wrong. Just like as if you sent a child an errand, and while you were going, you mistakenly called the wrong thing that the child was supposed to buy. You mistakenly called it, or maybe you wanted to get something like a snacks, possibly a biscuit, and you asked the child to get you a particular kind of biscuit, and you forgot to tell the child that you want the chocolate flavor or the chocolate variant. You could stop the child, reset what you sent to the child, and tell the child to get a chocolate flavored biscuit instead. So that is like, I was wrong, reset the message I give to you, add this or remove that. So when we talk about push, so push means a particular kind of flag that stop something that is ongoing and push another one instead. It looks like a message that carries the matter of urgency, like tells a particular kind of server or a particular kind of source, a particular kind of destination to process that information immediately. So push flag tells receiver to process data immediately. So it's as if you're telling somebody, read this now, don't wait, despite you've already sent an information before. Or possibly there is a particular kind of a long information you've given to the person for the person to read and process, but in between, maybe after the third line, you put it there like in quotes and say, attend to this now. It means the person should abandon what he was already doing to attend to that instantly. Now, urgent marks data as urgent or as priority. Now, what urgent does is that it marks a particular kind of message among other messages as the most important. Is different from push. Push means there's a message in a message that can stop a running message and act and tells the server or the destination to act on a particular one immediately and leave what was doing before. But urgent is multiple messages going at the same time while there's a flag on a particular one to be processed immediately. Now, let me give you a real life scenario that can say this is very important. Imagine in a company that's making use of email information, and somebody requested that I need a particular document, please send it through the mail. And this person called you again and tell you, please, I don't mind, still send the mail, but now, urgently now, send this same document through Teams. Everybody knows Teams is instant. What the person needs to do is to drag it inside Teams and hit the send, and the person gets it immediately within fraction of a second. But you could still take the Outlook or whatever mail provider to deliver that message at a very long time. So while he's still waiting for the message to drop, the person has already collected the Outlook, done what the person wants to do with it, process what the person wants to process, and just document the mail that is coming in. Do you understand that particular kind of flag?
Yes, sir.
That's good. All right. Moving forward, the three-way handshake is a particular kind of handshake that establishes a reliable connection. Let's watch how the sync, arc, and arc work together. I would like to use an image online to explain this particular scenario. Let's get a picture that make you understand how this looks like. There's an image I would love to use, just maybe, okay, yeah, this is cool, but it's a video. I like this, but it's a video. Exactly what I'm looking for is this. Let me see how I can pick this and increase it. let's make use of this. Yes. So yeah. Okay. Sorry about the quality of the image. This is exactly what I am looking for. Now, when we talk about the TCP, the Transmission Control Protocol, Transmission Control Protocol simply means the particular kind of rule that governs the ability for a client to be able to send a message and for the destination, the server, to be able to receive the message, and both of them will acknowledge that a message has successfully let me say a communication has successfully been made, has successfully been what can I call it now, been established. Now look at this scenario. You ask for google.com, and at the end of the day, after waiting for like 5 minutes, you didn't get any response. Then definitely it means that the communication is incomplete. For example, I can give you an example of a site that when I started ethical hacking, I was using this a lot of time, tests php dot web web dot php slash, I can say login dot php. Look at this site. I'm syncing now. Okay, this is the site right now. Login page. You can see that the site exists. This is a login page. Let's click it right now. Let's see what is going to happen. I am a client now requesting for this page. The page is there. It is seen that the page is existing. It's online. Google can see it. But I'm sending a message to request for this page. It has been requesting for a while now. See, the site cannot be reached. It simply shows that my request was not acknowledged. Google found that server and it shows that that site is actually existing and is online. But it said it took so long to respond and the site cannot be reached. Look, this site, I've been using this site for a very long time. It's even trying to check again. It's syncing again. My browser is trying to relaunch again. It's sending some particular flag to say I am requesting for access into this site. Look, it has used almost 83 MB. If you can see this, memory usage, 83 MB. But can you see, it bounced back and it never gave a response. So, which simply means that this communication rather, was only able to terminate at the end of sync. There was no acknowledgement from the server. So this was the end. This is the end. This is the place. This is the deadline for the communication of that particular website. It could not go beyond that. But watch this. Watch this. I will show you something now. What about if I visit a site like this? CyberSecurity.c. Okay, this even took so early. Let's check another one that will take a while. Okay. Let me go for yahoo.com. I think it's at every website. Look, now I'm trying to request, which I'm syncing. Then at this particular place, you would see the server would acknowledge. We acknowledge it. Yes, you can see the server has acknowledged my request. At this particular place, Yahoo Mail weather search has acknowledged my request, but I have not gotten it. So I'm at stage 2 now. That's sync arc. Now that's sync arc. It has acknowledged my request. That's sync arc. Then let me see if I can get a page on my screen. And that means that I have gotten, yes, you can see that. So in this process, the three-way handshake was complete. The three-way handshake was complete. I was able to request for yahoomail.com, and from there, Yahoo Mail server replied me and told me I acknowledge your request. And at the end, I was able to send back to the server that says, thank you, I actually got what I requested for. You can see the page loaded before I close it to show that that actually happened. So if you send www.aparticularwebsite.com and you see the tab changes and set acknowledge, and you see the page you requested, that means the three-way handshake has occurred successfully. And this happens between a particular, possibly a public IP address from a particular system, or a public IP address from a particular system, or even a MAC address, a public IP address from a particular system here, and to also the server's IP address. Even though it's Google, even though it's Yahoo, server's IP address. So in one way or the other, this IP address of the source, the IP address of the source, have been able to speak with the IP address of the destination, and the destination was able to acknowledge and was able to respond to me and say, I acknowledge your message, and I'm able to also tell back to the server, thank you, I got the message. That is the whole explanation about the three-way handshake. So that is what all this is trying to say. So when you send a message, google.com, it says you are trying to say, can I connect to Google? And the server will say, hey, client, yes, let us connect. I am available. And the other one says, which is you tell back to the server, say, oh, thank you, the connection has been established. I acknowledge the receipt of your response. That is what it means. So in a real life analogy, like making a call, you dial, that is a sync. The person picks up the call and you say hello. That means you acknowledge that the person picks. If the person does not pick up the call, that means there was no, the three-way handshake did not complete successfully. So, but by the time you say hello, the person replies you hello, it means the connection is now, there's now an established connection for communication. So that is the meaning of all the old TCP flags and the three-way handshake. In the little time I've been able to explain, the sync flag that requests and say, hello, can I communicate with you? The ACK flag that accepts and acknowledge a particular kind of request and say, yes, I'm available, we can actually talk. What do you want? And that one say, this is what I want, can you give it to me? And that one say, you can have it. That is the sync ACK. And the finish means, thank you, I've gotten what I want. Then you close your browser or you drop the call, and that says thin. And there's another one that says push. Push means immediately, please, can you attend to this? Leave whatever thing you are doing, alt whatever thing you are doing right now, just attend to this information. You can go back to the previous information. Which there's another one called reset. I say, oh, I'm sorry, that information I'm sending across is a wrong one. I would like to edit my information, and so on and so forth. Those are the TCP flag, the three-way handshake that establish a connection that when there's a sync, there's a sync ACK, and there's an ACK complete flow. That means a communication has been established. Now, moving forward, we're going to talk about sniffing, the main topic of our discussion today. So sniffing itself, like I said earlier in this video, or in this class where we started, I said sniffing itself means capturing network packets trying to observe, trying to capture, trying to know what is going on behind the scene. That is actually what is called sniffing. Trying to know what is going on behind the scene. Trying to monitor. Yes, I think that word is better. Monitoring. You are not taking action at this time now. We are just monitoring the sync, the arc, and the what can I call it? The sync arc flag. You are monitoring them. Then you are looking at all protocol. Is it FTP protocol? Is it this? Is it that? What is actually going on? That means you are sniffing your network. Now, I would like to bring in something to make you understand this. What you are sniffing is not data, but what you are sniffing is a packet. Let me come again. What you are sniffing is not a data, but what you are sniffing is a packet. Now, what is a packet? What is a data? Now, when you say something is a data, it means your raw data, what you type. For example, the documents that you attach and the text that are waiting to be sent, that is lying in your inbox, or let me say in your mailbox. You see that data that you have you see those documents that you have, those texts that you say, please kindly attend to this mail, it is urgent, I hope my mail meets you well, I'm expecting your response, thank you. You see, at that particular time that is still lying within your box, that your Gmail box, that your Ymail box, that your Outlook, that your Hotmail, whatever kind of business email you might have, all those things you have that you can see are the data. Immediately you hit the button send. Immediately you hit the button send. Immediately you hit that button send, that data transforms. That data transforms and turns to what we call packets. So data does not travel through Wi-Fi or through cable or LAN. No, data travel through packets. Now, if you understand the concept I sent to you at a particular time, there was a time I told you to read about networking. If you have a deep knowledge of networking, you will understand something called the OSI model in networking. Every message passes through this OSI model. Let me look for the one I like that will be able to explain this concept very well. Okay, I think this is good. So this model is what actually goes behind the scene. This is what goes on behind the scene exactly. Let me bring out the image. Okay, the image seems incomplete. Please, the image is not complete. Let me look for another one. Okay, this is better. So I'm trying to sync. Let's see if the server is going to acknowledge it. Okay, yes, there's a sync arc now. Then once it shows that yes, I've acknowledged that I've seen what the server sends. Okay, what is an OSI model and the understanding? I'm ready to deal with the image. Let's get the image. So let me keep explaining why the site is still loading. One way or the other, when you hit send from the data, that is from your documents to the text you have to whatever picture you've attached to your mail, and you click send, your data passes through 7 layers before it reaches its destination. And all these layers are very, very important. It seems this site is a little bit heavy. You should have loaded that image. Let me try to see if I can zoom this particular image and I can see it very well. Let me see if I can. Okay, I think this is okay. So now, when you are trying to send something, and this is from top to bottom, not from bottom to top. So when you're trying to send an image or you are trying to send a mail, that particular application you are using to send this mail is your application. For example, if you go to gmail.com, you are using the browser to access your email, you are on the application. You attach a document, you attach an image, you attach a PDF file, you attach a music, a video, you are using the application. Immediately you hit send, your data will leave your application, whatever browser you are using, whatever Outlook you are using. Let me see if there's an Outlook client here. Yeah, this is an Outlook client here. Once you use this to send a mail, you are the application level or application layer. So once you send the mail, it automatically becomes a packet of zeros and one. That document is no longer a document again. It becomes a packet and it moves to the application level, to the presentation level, from the presentation level to the session, from the session to the transport layer, from the transport layer to the network layer, from the network layer to the data link, from the data link then to the physical. Then once it enters into the machine, the owner of the source, the destination rather, once this data that you send travels as packets to the destination that you sent it to, it becomes data again. So in a nutshell, what am I saying? Data are documents in your application, while packets are data in transit. I would like to come again. Data are your documents that you have in your system, in your PC, or in your application, such as your browser or your Outlook client. But immediately you hit send, it becomes a packet, and that packet is what we want to analyze. Hope you understand the concept of a packet now. Are we still together?
Yes, sir.
You understand the concept of a packet now, what a packet means.
Yes.
So in a nutshell, it simply means I am trying to analyze a data in transit. Do you get that now? So once I'm sniffing a
Yes, sir.
data in transit, that means I am trying to monitor data in transit. So I'm trying to monitor packets. So I may not be mentioning data in transit. I may not be mentioning data. I might be saying packets. So I want you to understand what I mean by packets. So sniffing is capturing network packets. I know you understand what a packet means now. That means the data that is already in transit, that is already moving. To analyze what is being transmitted, it's a fundamental skill for network troubleshooting and security investigation. So sniffing in itself, it's a process of capturing and analyzing what is going on in the network. It's analyzing the packets as they travel across that network. Now, let's look at it like I said earlier, that in a sniffing scenario, you can use it for legitimate purposes and you can also use it for malicious purposes. So network troubleshooting is what you can use it for. What is actually going on when somebody says, I sent a mail, I'm trying to visit a particular kind of site and I can't get across to that site, I can't see it. What is actually going on? They tell the person to reload their browser, visit that site again, and watch what is actually happening to that site. Watch it. So you'll be able to say, I'm sorry, that site is not available. Maybe their server is down or they're doing a particular kind of upgrade. You can check back later. You are able to say something as a network engineer, as an infrastructure engineer. You are able to say something that has evidence, not that you are zooming of maybe it has maybe your network is not good. No, maybe that server is down. No, with a sniffing tool, you'll be able to say what actually happened. You see it as we go on. So What legitimate use can you use a sniffer to do again? You can use to monitor your network traffic, like I said. You can use it to detect attack. And you can also use it for ethical hacking investigation. So if you want to be a forensic engineer, SOC analyst, SOC analyst, you can make use of Wireshark and make use of sniffing. In fact, you sniff a lot of data. So malicious uses is used for stealing credentials. So I'm going to be showing you how an ethical hacker check the vulnerability in a packet that is traveling through a network. I'm going to show you how a penetration tester will be able to grab those credentials and show them that I was able to grab that. So spying on communications, you can spy on communications, see what somebody is using to where the person is visiting and all those kind of things. And data interception, you can intercept data. You can also use it for man-in-the-middle attack. So what does a man-in-the-middle attack means? It simply means maybe one way or the other, you are in a public network or you are using a public Wi-Fi. And in this public Wi-Fi, many people is connected to it. And in one way or the other, let me show you something. This is a public Wi-Fi. Now, this is the router now. This is, let me even write it there. Public Wi-Fi. Now, this is a public Wi-Fi, maybe at an E3 or at a particular airport. So, this is someone who's browsing innocently. Somebody is browsing innocently. I would like to do this, like this, connecting, and the Wi-Fi is also responding. Like I say, oh, I want to use this Wi-Fi to get this information, and this one to say, oh, you can have my Wi-Fi, you can have the data, do whatever thing you kind of like to do with it, and this and that. And all of a sudden, somebody just came and intercepted. This is man in the middle. Somebody just came and intercepted the connection and sees everything you are sending, can edit it, possibly maybe you are sending, what can I call it now? You are sending your account number. You are sending your account number to somebody to say, send that money into this account number. You can, a bad hacker can hijack whatever this person is sending. This MITM, I'm coming, let me write that. Man in the middle MITM attack. It's called MITM. Man in the middle. So this is somebody in the middle now using Wireshark or EtherCap to sniff whatever you are browsing. As far as you are connected to the same network, it gets the same thing, and you guys will be able to know what is actually going on with you. And it can edit what you send and send it to the person you are sending it to. And before you know, let me even get a very good image of man in the middle attack. Let's check. Let's check a very good image for man in the middle attack images. I would like to see anyone that comes with an analogy to the kind of, yeah, this is a very good one. This is a very good one. This is a very good one. So communication is meant to be two-way from the sender to the destination. But in a man in the middle attack scenario, you see, from the terminal user, hold on, okay, from the terminal user, which is the victim, to this original destination. But before you know what happens, a man in the middle attack attached to the network you are connected to, and he gets a new connection to both the network, the place you are sending the message to, and they get the connection to you. So when you send, it directs to the hacker, and the hacker edits the content of the message and send it to the destination. So what those people try to send you money, they send it into the hacker's account, and the hacker will help you to edit it again and send a receipt to you. So you only get a receipt while these people have sent the money, and it leaves the connection, and you guys will be fighting with each other. That's the man in the middle attack. I think there should be a more bigger explanation to this, because that attacker also needs to connect to, okay, yes, I think this is a better one. It shows that both the attacker and you are connected to the same network, and you guys are sending to the same destination. So the attacker hijacks from you and send it to that destination. So those are man in the middle attack. So I would like you to know that it's a very important that sniffing can be legitimate, used for ethical hackers and admins, network admins, or it can also be malicious for stealing credentials, and always have a proper authorization before you go into sniffing. So let's look at sniffing. What are the two main types of sniffing? We have the passive sniffing and we have the active sniffing. So the passive sniffing, like it says, is just, I think it's obsolete now. People don't really use it again. That happens on a network hub. So passive sniffing is the kind of tool you use on a network hub that just lists things. You can't use it to manipulate attack. You can't use it to read. You just watch, know what is going on, and that's what it does. But you can't react with it. But in active sniffing, you can use it it is being used in the switch network, and trust me, attacker can manipulate it, and even they can inject packets into it. So like secretly listening to a conversation with, let's look at what is here. So sniffing in passive sniffing means this one is just sitting there like a dull head, like just a dummy. It's just secretly listening to a conversation without interrupting. While active sniffing is forcing people to talk through you so you can listen. You can see it now. That is why they call it active. You can manipulate, you can inject package, you can follow a particular kind of chart, and it's used in the switch network. You're going to see the way I'm going to practice all this, so you're going to see how it looks. So this is Wireshark. Let me tell you about a tool called Wireshark. So Wireshark is the industry standard for packet analysis. Like I told you, we're going to be monitoring packets, that is data in transit, and we're going to be analyzing it. So what does it do? It captures live traffic and allows deep inspection into network communication. So we have examples of them, but the one that is good and you can use to practice before you get a cybersecurity job is possibly Wireshark. Now, there could be other tools, there are much, but trust me, they are just being presented in a different GUI. The job they are doing is just like Wireshark, or the only difference might be automation. They might have automated it, just need to click, and it's doing all the whole analysis of the log for you. But with Wireshark, it's like riding a manual car. It's like analyzing everything yourself manually. So Wireshark is the industry standard tool. Like I said, it captures live traffic and allows deep inspection of network communications and the packet that flows through your network, both in and out. And how do we start Wireshark? We start Wireshark by typing sudo Wireshark. Let's go into Kali. So it opens, or you can open it via the application menu. That is, I'm going to be showing you both method. So what we're going to be doing, I'm going to be explaining everything, what all the old top pane does. And there's a particular place called the number. There's a particular place called the packet number. There's another place called, okay, we're going to be seeing, okay, let me do that. Let me just talk in an abstract way. Let us log into our machine so you can understand that. Let's wait for our machine to start. Okay, I'm not going to be making use of this. I hope my network is working. Maybe if I don't remember to close off my connection in the last class, you see, it's giving me jamming. If I don't forget to close my connection in the last class, it's possible. Okay, I think it's working. I'm good to go. Are we still together?
Yes, sir.
That's good. So I want to be sure that the proxy chain file that we edited has not caused something else. Like the proxy chain file, the proxy chain config. Let me see. Sudo nano etc-profig. Let me see if okay, can you see the dynamic chain is still on? You see what I'm trying to get, so I want to lock it back. Yes, that's good. That's good. The dynamic chain is still on. Can you see all this is still there? So let me take it back to default. That will be the best, so we can have a proper uninterrupted analysis. I think I'm good to go with this now. Now, you can launch Wireshark. You can launch Wireshark through clicking on the Start menu icon and search for Wireshark. And this is the tool called Wireshark. And you can also go through the terminal, which is the best, to give it the admin privilege to be able to read every network, every packet in your network. It's good to start with sudo Wireshark. Press enter. And Wireshark is going to start. Yes, that is Wireshark starting up for you. This is Wireshark. This is how it looks like. I would have loved to put it on the white mode, but I think my Kali is in dark mode. Now that's my thing. Please bear with me. Manage the kind of color you'll be seeing on your screen, but you understand everything. You can notice our ETH0, our cable network interface. You can see it's already doing something here. I don't know if you can notice what it's already doing here. It's already working on something here. And any or possibly a look back is already also sniffing in something here. Our look back interface or something is already sniffing a network here. And because that is its own job, it's meant to sniff. So one way or the other, what I would like to say here is that this is the interface I want to work with. If you have any other means that you connect Kali through, if you can see this one is saying cable, like here it's saying cable. If there's an adapter that you connect and you have your Wi-Fi connection, that is Wi-Fi 0 or Wi-Fi 1, you will always see that Wi-Fi 2, as far as it is connected, will also be reading packets. So to start Wireshark, if you like, you can right click here and click on capture, and you can also click on this icon here that looks as the back of a shark, like just like the icon here. You can click it and also it means start capturing packets. But to be double sure that I am on the ETH0, which is already even trying to receive a signal, I'll try to right click here and click start capture, and you hold on. Now this is what I'm trying to explain to you. As a cybersecurity expert, you need to know this interface very well and what it means. You may need this one to start packets, this is to stop packets, and this is to restart current capture. You can use it to restart. Like I said, reset means take it again, do something new, reset it. That is not what I want, give me a new one. That is the flag. So these are the three that is commonly used. Other people can be making use of this, but most time these are the three that is commonly used. But I use only these two to start and stop. You can see in this place blinking, it says apply a display filter. We are going to be making use of this to narrow down our search, because Wireshark captures traffic in millions, in hundreds of thousands. So you can't read everything. all you need to do is to narrow down your filter. Watch this. I'm going to be showing you a lot of things. You can notice that Wireshark is not capturing anything at the moment because there is no network going in and going out at the moment. Watch this. I want to explain NO, which is number, time, source, destination, protocol, length, and info. You need it. Source, destination, you need to know it. The number of time in milliseconds, the number and the protocol is using. Is it TCP? Is it HTTP? Is it SSL? And so on and so forth. I will explain everything in details as fast as possible. Watch this. We have number, time, and source. Let's explain what it means. The number stands as for the number of the packet number. That is that number. That is what it stands for. It means the number of the packet number. Time means time captured in milliseconds. While the source is the sender IP. I know you know how to get the sender IP. How can we get the sender IP? By typing ifconfig on our terminal. The IP that comes out there is our sender IP. I will show you everything. Then the destination receiver IP is the server we are trying to communicate with. It is the IP of the server that we are trying to communicate with. For example, Google, google.com, google.com.ng, google.us, google.us. Maybe Britain or whatever as an IP. Google.cn, that is Google China. It has an IP address. Every destination has an IP address. Even a particular website, www.yahoo.com, or even this particular site we are making use of, this one, this CyberSecurity whatever.com, this subdomain has an IP. So as I'm connecting to it, it's a source. It has a destination IP. Protocol means, am I using TCP? Am I using HTTP? Am I using DNS? Am I even using maybe TCP? Am I using maybe FTP? We have a lot of protocol depending on what is going on in that network that is flying through the network at that particular time. Then the length is the length of the packet size. I think I remember the size of the longest length of the packet size. I think I can't remember anymore. I don't want to call a particular number, but I would like you to Google it. Google what is the largest length of the packet size. Then we have info, packet summary. You will be making use of this a lot. So what are we going to be making use of the more? Not packet number, not time captured, but source IP, destination IP, protocol. Yes, protocol. Then info. These are the four things we're making use of. So these are in the middle pane, packet details. These are the things I'm going to be seeing in the packet details in the middle pane. This is okay. It's already capturing some things. It's listening. There's something already working. Look at it. Look at the protocol. ICMP. It's already listening. So I can reset this, but not now. Let me stop it at the moment. Let me stop it. I don't want to capture. So this is a middle pane, and we have other things. You will see it in details as we move on. Now, let's go. Let me click on start capturing. Continue without saving. So I have an empty place here. So let me go to my browser. You can see it's empty. There's nothing there. Now let me go to my browser and visit a particular kind of website. Which websites would you like us to visit? Can you tell me a particular website to visit that we can visit? I think
Any website.
any website. I think GitHub is good. GitHub is a common site. Can we use GitHub?
Okay.
Let's use GitHub. I would not like to use people's sites to test something on a video that might cause issue. So I am loading GitHub right now. I am sending. Can you see now? Can you see that I'm sending? GitHub has acknowledged and I have received. I have acknowledged and I'm okay. This thing that just happened now means before I can see this page, the three-way handshake must have been completed. I'm coming. Did I close this? The three-way handshake must have been completed. You see it now. Yes, this must have been completed. This is GitHub. This is me. I've requested github.com. GitHub has acknowledged, and I've told GitHub I want a front page, and it has given it to me. So to confirm this, let us go and confirm in Wireshark. You can see. Can you see what is going on?
Yes,
Can you
sir.
see? Now, this is a pane.
Yes.
This is a pane that you can analyze a lot of things. Can you see? A TCP is already going on. Everything is this is just GitHub. Now, watch this. Like I told you, we'll be making use of, we don't need number, we don't need time, but we'll be making use of source, destination, and so on. Now, when we talk about source, it means where that packet is actually coming from. This is a TCP. This is a TCP. I'm coming. I'm looking for a TCP. Okay, let's go to TCP. Now, this is source and this is destination. It simply means this is my system. This is my system IP, and this is where I am going. Do you see the way we're analyzing packets now? This is the way we're analyzing packets. Watch this. Can you see this? Transmission control protocol. See the ports I'm connecting through. Can you see them? So at this particular phrase, I have the frame information here. Let me increase this. I have the frame information here. You can look at the frame, what you have in encapsulation, the arrival time, how long it takes it, when the person visits it, and so on. You can close it. You look into the Ethernet too. So look at the destination. See the source. See my MAC address. Look at my MAC address. You can see how you can study or sniff a particular action that is ongoing in your network. Meaning, if a MAC address that does not belong to your company, or a particular MAC address that belongs to your company is browsing, is not browsing rather, maybe like I said in previous classes, I said it's possible you might have sniffed the MAC address of a receptionist or a security system. Do you know I said that? Do you know?
Yes,
Do
sir.
you remember I said that? I said you would have taken their MAC address, put it into your own MAC address, and you now log in into that Wi-Fi as if you are part of them. Now, imagine they now went to meet IT, and they say that you are connected to the network. This receptionist is connected to the network, and I don't know if you know where I'm going. The receptionist is connected to the network and is saying no network, you can't browse. And you look at the MAC address of the receptionist, and you come here, you can see that there's a MAC address that looks exactly like that of receptionist, or even exactly connected, and receptionist is not browsing. What are you suspecting in that sense? It means somebody is already sniffing you. Somebody has already entered into your network, right? That is not the original, what do we call it now? The original owner. From there, you can now go into any tools you use in your company for security or network intrusion detection. You can now go there and block this particular MAC address. Do you understand that now?
Yes, sir.
You see, that is how cybersecurity use this tool for a good work, by looking at the frame. Now look at the internet protocol. Look at everything that it's trying to see. You see the version, you see the header length, you see everything, the identification. This is not what I sent. What I sent was github.com. But see packets. Look at the way I'm reading the packets. Look at the flags that it carries, everything. Then going down again, look at the transmission control protocol. Look at it. Can you see? Look at arc analysis. Everything is there. Look at the calculated window size, and look at everything. Look at it. The flag this one came with was arc. Look at it here. Under info is hack, acknowledge. So you can actually look at everything that is here, and it's just for your own good, for you to be able to monitor your network. But trust me, like I said, some bad guys can work with this. You're going to see how a penetration expert is going to be using this to his own advantage. Now, look at all these things that is showing up. Imagine, like I told you, this is source, which is me. This is destination, which is the site I'm going. How can you know which one is source, which one is destination? You are confused that which site is this person visiting? What is the IP of the site? How come this person? This is what I'm doing. If you want to look into the material, this is what I'm doing. After opening Wireshark, capture packets, this is what I'm doing. This is where I am right now. Important Wireshark filters. That is where I am. I want to begin to filter by IP address. I'll begin to filter by source only. All these things is what I'll be explaining. I may not be coming here. I'll just be doing it the way I do it in every day in my place of work. You can see, look at my MAC address. You can filter my MAC address out. Yeah. So I may be using anyone here that I may not be able to come here, but later after my demonstration, you will come to this place and you understand this particular page better. Can I continue?
Yes, sir.
Okay, look at this ip.addr. You see what it means now. Filter IP address. Now, let's imagine I went to GitHub. Now, I now visited another site again, such as google.com.ng. Or better still, I would have loved to go to, making how many sites I visited now? Making 2 sites. Let me go to that site I told you that I used to talk to that does not reply me. That is testphp.vulnweb.com/login.php. This is another site. Or I might even like to have just even leave this login.php. Let me reset the connection. Yes. Let me close this. I want it to open what I want. Test PH. All these things we are doing, Wireshark is capturing. Don't forget. Wireshark is capturing. Test.php.vulnweb.com. Let's see what is going on. I'm syncing right now. Trying to synchronize. I'm trying to request. Remember, I synced with GitHub. I was able to get an acknowledgement and I have my page. Now, I'm trying to do this right now. What's this? Is it trying to open? See the federalhousing.com. No, it's showing different kind of things, which is not supposed to, it's not supposed to go. Let me try again. Test PHP. It's not supposed to go. vulnweb.com/login.php. It's trying to redirect me. Okay, let's see. It's like it wants to open. You see, it's the site is no longer available, but something open. Normally it's not supposed to open. Okay, maybe possibly I might even search for a particular site, mistype the name, but let's work with this. Okay, github.com. Let's copy it. What is the IP address for github.com? How do you check the IP address for github.com? I'm going to be opening another PowerShell. I don't want to open PowerShell. I want to open a terminal. Yes, I want to open a terminal. Now, I want to know the IP address of myself, which is the source, and I want to know the IP address of my destination, which is GitHub. Let's go. To know the IP address of yourself is ifconfig, and you can see that your own IP address is 10.0.0.2.15. If you go and search that in Wireshark, you will see 10.0.2.15. Can you see that? Can you see that?
Yes, sir.
That is it.
Yes.
Now, what is, come on, let me close this. What is the IP address of the place we try to visit? That is github.com. Isn't that it? This is how you check it. You can
Yes.
use ping github.com. You can do that, but this command is for someone who isn't that, let me say, for just network kiddies that are just learning IT, maybe just for IT guys or for something. This is not what we use. Or you can use it for somebody that just started and you're training. You can use ping. But the real command is nslookup. It's a tool. nslookup, then the name of the site. This gives you the exact thing you're looking for. So let me just do, let's look up github.com, press enter. Let's see how many IP address it has. Thank you. It has one server address, and that is 140.82.121.4. That is GitHub address. You copy this and you go and find everything about GitHub. Then let's copy it and go into this place. You can now come to the filter. Now I told you we're going to be making use of the filter. If you like, you can pause this, you can stop this and filter by using IP. You can see it's coming out already. Can you see? IP.addr equals paste the IP address, Ctrl Shift V. Okay, if it's not pasting, just copy, paste. You can paste it there. I typed it wrongly. I put comma instead of dots. It's supposed to be showing green. IP.addr equals to the IP address. Can you see? Press enter. Let's wait. Let's hold on. Okay, I might like to reload GitHub again. Let's see. So you can capture it. Let's wait for it. So I'm already searching this. So immediately I reload GitHub. If this is the IP address that it connects with, definitely all the old packets will be okay. Let me start it. I think I stopped it. Sorry, I stopped it. Okay, I started it. Let us connect to GitHub again. Yes, GitHub has opened. Yes, it has captured. Then let us stop it and streamline what we've done. Now look at this. I'm looking for this IP address 140.80.12.4, and this is it. Let's look at the protocol of the TCP/IP. We have the ARC here. Let's go down. We are going to see at the place, at the moment where this connection was actually connected. We are going to see where there's a sink, there's the ARC, and there's a SYN ARC. That is how we do things. You can search for it. Maybe because I've opened it before, you are supposed to see the three-way handshake of the application layer. Let me try another site. Let me try another site because I want it to open freshly. Let me start a capture and open a fresh site. So we're going to use, let me use Microsoft, let me use office.com. If you look at office.com, let me delete this. Let me stop and start. Okay, office.com is not going. Okay, office.com is already trying to acknowledge me. Let's see what we have. It's supposed to have started. If it's not going, maybe we'll close Wireshark and relaunch it again. It's also showing that it's capturing. Okay, let's close Wireshark and start it again. I'll still use that GitHub. Let me clear my screen. Sorry for discrepancies here. I'm going to open Wireshark by saying sudo Wireshark. Enter. Then you're going to have your password typed in there. The Wireshark is opening. So once Wireshark opens, you see that there's a network connection that starts from here. Make sure you see that thin line that starts the connection. If it's not there, that means it's not getting a network. Okay, let me click on start capturing and let me visit GitHub. GitHub.com is loading. Let me see, and it's capturing. That's good. You can see that. Yes, I've seen something here. Yeah, I've seen something here. So I may not be able to see all these things. Maybe if I have a lot of things, so I need to filter down. Then I make use of this code, IP address, the name of the destination of the site. So what is the destination address of the place I'm going? Let me open another place. I went to GitHub. I said ns lookup github.com, and it's 140.82.121.4. You go to this place, and it's better I copy it. That will make it easier for me, because this is what I want to search for. Copy selection, go to Wireshark and type ip.addr equals paste the IP address, then press enter. Yeah, we have it now. Look, can you see this? Can you see this?
Yes, sir.
At
Yes.
this place was when I sent my sync. You can see source, that is me, right? 10.0.2.15. Let me stop this so it will not go beyond that place. Let me show you to prove to you that that is my IP address. If config, what is my IP address here? 10.0.2.15. And I was trying to request, yes, and I was trying to request to 140.82.121.4. So if you look at Wireshark, this is me, source, and this is what? Destination. See, the flag is carrying. What flag is this? The sync flag. Can you see it? Can you see it? Look at what they said there. They said is searching for permission. This is permission. So it requested first time, it requested second time, it requested third time. Then at this place, you can see, I don't know if I can zoom it in. At this place, you can see that there was a particular transmission control protocol here that shows that sync arc. At this place, GitHub did what? GitHub acknowledged my request. Do you see that? Do you see that? Yes. And when GitHub responded with what I have, and I add a arc. This shows that the three-way handshake has been completed. That was why the site was able to open. Do you understand that? Do you understand now?
Yes.
If that site did not open like I told you, for example, I said maybe let me add 0. Let me spell Google wrongly, and it cannot go. If I search for this IP address, can you see? Yes. If I look at it now, if I search for the IP address, okay, I didn't even start receiving packets. Okay, but hope you understand this scene arc and arc here now. That is so that the three-way handshake was possible here. Now, if I look at this, if I start my packet, I'm very sure it's not going to work. Let me load this page. Server not found. What did they say? Okay, let me take this one off. Am I sure it's still capturing? I think it's capturing. So if I go to, let me even go to a site. I wish I can get a site that is down. Let me still try that test. vonweb.com. This site is not supposed to load, but let me stop it. Let me stop it. Let me stop it. It's looking as if it wants to load, but I'm sure that site is not loading. I've stopped it. So in one way or the other, the packet is supposed to load here. If we hold on for it a little while, you're going to see the packet here. Or let me even dare it. Let me dare it. It's not going to load. It's going to show another site entirely. So, okay, this is it. Did it capture any packets? Did it capture any packets? Let me check this address now. This address. This tells us php.von. Okay, the site's name is wrong. There's an N here. N here. Yeah, it's Von Web. Okay, let's see. Stop. Continue without saving. It's supposed to be receiving packet delayed, packet displayed. Why is my packet not showing then? The packet is displaying. See, it's still not working. Can you see that? It's not showing. I'm supposed to be receiving here. Let me stop this. Let me stop this. Let me relaunch. Let me relaunch it again. Okay. Yeah. This is it. What color are you seeing all through?
Red.
Red.
Is it red?
Now,
Red.
yes. Look at this. Look at this. Sin. Did you see any sin arc? Did you see any sin arc?
No.
Now, you can see that. Imagine somebody comes to meet you and say, I'm sorry, what happened to this site? I can't visit the site. And you are able to analyze the IP of this site. This is the IP of the site. Copy it. Go and do NS lookup. I'll put the site here. Let's get the IP. And this is the IP, 44.228.249. Then you can come here, pick the IP, come into Wireshark, and do IP.addr. That is the site you're trying to work on now. You're trying to work on it. You're trying to, like, what is going on with this site? Press enter again. Look, you can now see very well that the site has a problem, that it is not the person's network. The person is able to send. The person sent the second time. The person sent the third time, but the site died. The connection died at sync. There was no acknowledgement. Can you see that? That is it. There was no acknowledgement at all. Now, this and many more are the things you can try with Wireshark. But what are the things other people can try with Wireshark that is a wrong thing? So in such a way, let me show you something. Let me show you something here. Let's imagine I want to use this same thing to see how a penetration tester can hack into somebody's details or a victim's details or a particular company that asks them to test in. I'm going to use this same method to get details of some people now. Look at this. Let's assume I visited this website and my Wireshark is on, sniffing. Let me go. Okay, this is Wireshark. Let me cancel Wireshark. Let me relaunch it again. Okay, and let me start capturing. Okay, Wireshark is ready to capture and I visited this site. Imagine this site. I visited maybe testasp.vonweb.com. Testasp.vonweb.com is a site that is not secure. Imagine your company staff visiting sites like this, and it's going at this particular moment. Thank God it's capturing. It's capturing. Okay, let's cancel this. What am I having? Tests ASP dot volweb.com. Supposed to open. Yeah, it opened. Now this site is a legit site for testing purposes. You can see that it was purposely built like a vulnerability website that you can use it to test something. You can see Aconetics web vulnerability scanner and everything. Imagine you have a site like this, or a company has a site like this, and you click on login. Immediately click on login. All this thing that is happening is already being captured by Wireshark. What did you see here? I don't know if you see something just now. This. What is this? Did you see this?
Login.
Thank you. This
Yes,
is login.
login.esp.
Thank you, because that is what I just clicked now. If I click register, that's the same thing that will happen. Let's look. I've clicked on register. Let's see if we can capture that register. Let's see if we can capture that register. So we are analyzing packets right now. We are looking for register, but we don't need to stress ourselves. That's why I say you should filter. Now, what about if I click on login, which this one captured everything? Let me even scroll it down. Which this one captured everything. I've logged in, and I tried to log in a username and password by typing. Can you tell me a username? Give me a username you want me to type. So to not be as if it's something I've saved before. Give me a username you want me to type. What did you say? Okay, if you want to use that
1 2 3 4.
let's use aka 1 2 3 4 as the username. Then what is the password?
Let's use this. The same thing. Let's use the same thing.
It will not make sense, so you'll be able to see what you actually typed. Let's do password.
And
Password. I'm using the capital P. Password 2026. Now, if I click on login, this is not actually the username and password. It gives us something that says invalid login. Now, for you to have said invalid login at that particular time, they can come and narrow a particular kind of thing here. For example, the person might look for something here, not hack, not sync, but the person might look for something, a query called posts. There might be a query called post here. Well, the person will just come and stand there and be looking for anywhere, anytime he sees something called post, because you just carried out an action on that page called post. This is it. I found it. It just jumped. Yes. You see, post what? What is this? Post login. Is that not it? Post login. That is the site. Post login. This is a penetration tester, an hacker now working. Look at what the hacker is going to do. It's going to come down and it's going to come to this place and read your packet the way the network engineer reads the packet, and he clicks on HTML form URL encoder and he clicks on it down. What is this? What is this? Form username. What do you see here?
Okay, Aka.
What is here?
Aka 1 2 3
Aka
4.
what? Then the
1
form
2 3
item
4.
password is what?
Password 2026.
Can you see that now? Imagine somebody is browsing on a computer totally out of where the hacker is, or maybe you are connected to a Wi-Fi, the person is also connected to a Wi-Fi, and you have the situation that there's a window machine, and maybe I was browsing from this window machine. That is the same way this man in the middle will sit down in that network and be sniffing passwords. Now watch this. What did I look for? I looked for a particular kind of filter called post, and I was able to analyze the packet of the post, and and I was able to see this. Now, if you don't see that post very fast, there's a filter you can make use of also. You can go into my this place, you see it. Go into this place, you see it. These things like HTTP request is the way hackers find their own HTTP request, TCP flag, FTP, SSH. I will show you now multiple protocols. Let's use this HTTP request and see what is going to happen. Now, the method I looked for is what? Is login, right? Let's even visit two sites. Let me visit another site again that is vulnerable. Let me visit another site. I'm going to visit a site called Zero. Am I typing it well? Zero Web App Security.com. ZeroWebAppSecurity.com. Let's look at this site. Meanwhile, at that particular time, ZeroWebAppSecurity.com is supposed to load. Let me go through DuckDuckGo. I type it wrongly. ZeroWebAppSecurity works perfectly well. Unless I type it wrongly. Let me just type ZeroWebAppSecurity. You're going to see that. So I'm going to show you how hackers sniffs permanently. The way they will just stay on the network. Their own job is just be looking for people's credentials to steal credentials. And you can also do that when you are testing a particular network. When you are testing the vulnerability in that network. Okay, this is it. It's a personal banking, loan and credit card company. So this is for educational purpose. You are free to use this kind of thing to test and know what are the loopholes in that company. So it's zero, I think it's zero.webapp. Sorry, it's zero.webapp, and this is the site. Now let's get this zero.webapp's IP address. We can look for that in NS lookup. Let's look for it. NS lookup. Then we're going to paste this. That is zero.webappsecurity.com. The IP is this. The IP is this. Copy the IP. Let's go and look for it inside Wireshark. That is ip.addr equals paste this. Paste this. Press enter. Press enter again to be sure. Now let's look for posts. It has filtered only these websites now. This one, this particular website, it has filtered it now. Now let us go and log into the site. Just click on sign in. I'm trying to sign in. I'm still filtering that site. Everything in this site, I see sign arc, everything I'm capturing. So let's sign in into the site. This site, I would like to use such words like super admin. And I'm going to be using password such as virus sting 2026, and let me log in. I don't know the password anyway, and it's going to tell me login error. Let's assume this person logged in. Inside this site. The hacker just needs to come here. Since he has narrowed down his searches, he just needs to look for the protocol of post. The post protocol. This is SynArc here. This is zerowebsecurity.com. Just look for the post protocol. Once he sees it, he picks on it. And if happens that the packet is too long, he can't search for it. He has another thing he can use. But I think I should be able to look for the post signal here. This looks long. Okay, let's use the second one. Then how do we use the second one? That is the one that gives us the login. Just come here and type http://requests.method. This is it. http request.method equals to posts. for this. That's all you need. HTTP request method equals to post. Press enter. Look at it. The two sites we just visited has been brought out. Any site you visit, look at this. Let's look at the first one. Let's analyze it. The first one says ACA and password 2026. Then the second one says, see, super admin virus think. Can you see that? Can you see that? So
Yes.
if you don't know how to
Yes.
analyze this, you can also do this. Once you search for this post, you can also click on this site, right click and click on follow. When you click on follow, you will see something called HTTP stream. HTTP stream, click on it. When you follow HTTP stream, if you read these details very well, you will see information inside the details. Let's look at this is the site. Test.vonwell app. Okay, test.asp.vonwell app. If you look at this, it's possible you can also follow this and you see something. Let me close this and okay, I'm not following, I'm following get. This is wrong. I'm following get. Let me follow it back. Request dot http dot request method equals to post. That's what I'm supposed to follow. Yeah. So I'll just right click on follow HTTP stream. Yes. If I click on follow HTTP stream, I'm supposed to see information here. You can see it that way. You can see it this way also. Let me check the second one. This is the post. Okay, let me follow TCP stream. Okay. Let me follow TCP stream. If I would get something here. Let me leave this. Let me go to the second site. Just do requests http dot request method. Okay, I'm going to the second one right now, which we have this one that we can see it here. I can also follow the HTTP stream or the TCP stream. Yeah, this is what I'm looking for. Look at this. What's this? User login equals to super admin and password equals to virus think 2026. Can you see? This is what I've been looking for. I'm sure if I try to do that on this again, it's possible I might get it. So I think I'm following right now. Okay, let me follow it. HTTP. Hope you're understanding this.
Yes.
That's good. So I want to log in again. I want to reset. This one will not leave there. It will just stay like that. I want to reload the site and relog in. Then let me come here, reload, resend. I want to relog in. Okay, I'm relogging in. I'm calling it admin, and this one is admin 123. Admin 123. And I'm going to log in. It's going to tell me invalid password. So at that time, it's telling me invalid password. I need to go and look at what I have. Login ASP. I need to check for login posts. Login post ASP. This is it. Post. You must always look at the post. Is this the IP? Is this the IP to that one? You must be sure what we're looking at. IP to ASP. Okay, this is test.php. Let's look for IP to test.php. So I'll not be looking at another thing. ns look up space test asp.vulnweb.com. Okay, it is 44.238. So let us go analyze it. Let's go and analyze that. Let's follow it. So this is 44238 login. It does not have posts. Let me click enter again. Okay, this is it. Yeah, So let me see if I follow this, if it's going to show HTTP stream. Okay, this site does not bring it out, but I tested it earlier than before now. It brought it out. So the other one was able to follow and they were able to see it. But on the normal ground, if you still come to this place, you will see the details there. So most times hackers are always steadily on post request, waiting at this particular moment, waiting for you to log in, to sign, to do a lot of things. So when you just come here and log in, put your username and password, they are already grabbing it immediately. They're already grabbing it. So see posts. See posts. And if they may not follow, they might look at this place. This is what I just typed now. This is what I just typed now. I just typed something. So, and at the same time, normal follow HTTP stream. Yeah, it has worked. Did you see it? See, TFU name, AKA123, and TFU password is, can you see, password 2026. Can you see it now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, that is it. So hackers will be sniffing your network constantly on a post method, waiting for a post method. They will just stay like this permanently. Anybody logging in, see, permanently. Anybody logging in, they'll just be dissecting whatever thing you posted, whatever thing you put there. They just be checking it. That is their own main job. That's their own main. They'll just be looking. It's not much. Unlike when you're looking for IP addresses and everything, you have the normal one and everything is full. You can see. So hackers use that to sniff network, and that is how people compromises their things. Even there's a site I built myself. There's a time I was testing the security of that site. I purposely removed the security in that site, and I think the name of that site is exam. Let's check if this loads. Yes, you can see it says not secure. Can you see? This is a real live site. Now, it's a school site and it's not secure. So one way or the other, you could go and enter some credentials here. And let's say student one, and the password of the student one. You can even say student1@gmail.com. And you can say the password is great student. This is a real site now for me to tell you to great student 23, for me to tell you how it works. So all I need to do is just to click login, and it tells me invalid credentials. Had it been it's a real credential, that is how I'm going to come into this place, and I'm going to search for the HTTP request method equals to post. I just look for the site here. Just look for the sites. I think this is common, this is common, this is not common. This destination is not common, and this is a post. So this might be it. Yes, that is it. Look at it, gave me student1@gmail.com, great student. That is a real website. You can see, look at it, username student1@gmail.com and password great student 23. This is how hackers sniff passwords. So you can see that. Then when you know this, what is the best thing to do? When you know this, what is the best thing to do? Let's stop Wireshark. Okay. You've seen that. I've shown you how it works, how you can use this HTTP request. Okay. Oh, I should have showed you something. Okay, well, maybe I will show you as I go on. What are the things you need to do? You can see analyzing the TCP handshake. You can see that we were able to get our sync, the scene arc, and the arc from the filter of whichever site we visited. And going forward, you can see how attackers steal password. They capture traffic just the way the real people capture traffic. They filter the traffic into HTTP and they look for post requests. They analyze packets. So this is how they filter. You can see the command. So anytime you want to practice, you can come back to this page. If you forget it, you don't need to cram it. Come to http.request.method equals to post, and you see that it will give you. So once they filter it, then before you know what is going on, they get your password. Your password is in plain sight. But look at this. What can you do to prevent this? Use HTTPS. Now, I showed you right now that this same site, let me on my Wireshark. I'll show you that the same site that I purposely removed this thing from, the security from. Okay, let's start capturing now. The site I removed something from, I can go back to exam.com. This same, I can just come here and go to the secure protocol version of it. You see, ordinarily this S makes the site secure. Ordinarily that S makes the site secure. Can you see what it says? You have added a security exception for this site. Now let's practice how we can capture. Thank God this is the only site. So this is our destination 151. This is it. So this is acknowledgement and everything. So let's capture. Let's capture. So let's do that same student 1. Let's do great student at 1, 2, 3. Let's log in. It says the same thing, invalid credentials. It says invalid credentials. For saying invalid credentials, let's see if we can come to post and pick something here. Let's see, http.request.method method equals to post. Let's enter. You cannot see anything because there's no HTTP request equals to post. It is HTTPS. You cannot see anything. That's number 1. Then that means we can search for HTTP here and play with it. Just HTTP and play with it. And if you are trying to get a site that is secure, you look for SSL. SSL. Watch this. This is it. You go through a TLS layer protocol. That means you are now protected. So if I look for a post action here, let me see. You will see that there's nothing like that. It does not have it. So we can only look for SSL and look for application data and look for the post. If you can get a post, even if you see a post, trust me, that data will be secured. It will be encrypted. And see, hello, can you see? It's already saying hello here, trying to using application data. The application data is the browser, like I told you. The OSI layer model is saying hello, and possibly there's something that happened here. There's something that happened here, but trust me, you cannot see anything. Look at the header, the reserve, the destination is already there. But see, payload, everything is encrypted. Can you see that? There's no way you can see the site in plain sight. The details of the person in plain sight. It's already secured. So that is why anytime a company tells you they're using a particular application, a particular site, a website, and it's not secured. You don't even need to test the site. You need to tell them this site can be hacked easily. See, I can't find the post request. It has been encrypted. This is everything about this site. It has been encrypted. See it here. See it here. Everything is encrypted. So I showed you in real life. You can see my name here. I developed it. You can see my name here. So one way or the other, I showed you when this site was insecure, and I showed you when I exerted a padlock on the site that tells you that you have added a security exception for this site. This is a padlock icon. So what do you learn in this situation? You learn that every web application or network must go through what? A secure layer protocol. A secure layer protocol. No matter how strong your password is, if you are going to a website that is saying not secured, you remember the very first class I had with you. I don't know if you remember that we were able to get a particular site with a particular IP address. You remember when I pinged a particular IP address and it took us to a particular site. We saw not secured on the site. Is that not true?
Yes, sir.
Is that not true? And I told you that if not that I'm just starting this class, that I would have carried out some penetration testing on it, that I can hack it. Do you know I said that? So this
Yes,
is
sir.
how, yes, this is how it is. So in summary, I would like to congratulate you that we've completed this module 4. So you now understand TCP flags. I'm sure you understand TCP flags now. All the sync, the arc, the fin, the reset, the push, and the urgent. You've understood the three-way handshake. That is the sync, arc, and arc. All the sniffing types, the passive and the active, and how to use Wireshark for packet analysis. Is that correct?
Yes, yes, sir.
That's good. So this is this takeaway for you. So TCP flags communication are all this. The three-way handshake establish connection. When it's complete, then there's a connection, there's a result, there's a communication has been initiated, and that means a communication has ensured. So sniffing captures network packets, and you can passively listen without doing anything, and you can also actively listen by manipulating. And there's Wireshark in the industry packet analyzer. There's Wireshark, which is the industry packet analyzer. And going forward, the skills you've acquired this moment is that you've been able to capture packets with Wireshark. You've been able to apply filter, that is IP addresses, HTTP, TCP flags, analyze handshake, detect plain text. Yes, you've been able to detect plain text and credentials. You've been able to understand attackers' methodology. So ethical responsibility is always obtain permission before sniffing network traffic. Now, you remember that the sites I tried are generally accepted sites that you can use to practice. It is not anybody's site. And I showed you in the school site I used that I am the owner of the website. After developing that site, I pen test it that nobody can sniff it. So when I go back, I'm going to go activate the padlock after the class. So the padlock will be permanent. The padlock will be permanent. So the reason why this one is not secured is because we don't have any login. It's just a static website. I didn't need to buy an SSL certificate for this. I don't need to. It's just a presentation that is open to everybody. You can come here, read, and go. I'm not collecting credentials. I'm not dealing with any database, and I'm not dealing with information such as card details. That is why I just hosted it in a public folder. So you've been able to analyze all these things. So always obtain permission before sniffing network traffic. Unauthorized sniffing is illegal and unethical. Please be ethical in your approach. So Next module is port scanning and enumeration, and you're going to enjoy this, I promise you. And thank you for staying till the end of this class. I hope you enjoyed the class. So let's take this as the end of the class for sniffing, an introduction to sniffing, and which simply means network packet analysis. Thank you.